Welcome back to Whitt Acres. So yesterday we had a storm blow through and we had wind gusts of about 60 miles an hour. And it actually just started hailing right now. Oh crap. Come on, Pop. Huh. A little bit of rain and hail going on. Come on, trees. Stay up. Stay down, greenhouse. Stay up, trees. Go inside, Doc. What are the goats doing? Get inside, goat. Not cool. Not cool at all. I went around and thought I had everything secured and ready for the wind. Before the storm came in, me and my dad came around here and covered the whole greenhouse with a tarp. That was to have the wind disperse over the panel so it doesn't blow any one panel out with the high winds that we had. I left the front open to try and keep some light going in there because I still have all my plants in there. So to keep them from all blowing away and the greenhouse getting destroyed, I had to put all my seedling starts and my plants in the dark for a whole day. So I'm going to get the cover off the greenhouse, start letting some light in, get in there, see what actually is going on in there because I do have to start some more seeds today. And then I'll take you around and show you what got destroyed and we might be able to fix it. Haven't looked at it a lot yet, but it's pretty rough. Down here at the vegetable garden, the entryway had just enough drag to get tossed over on one of the squalls that came through, which does suck because I just came in here and fixed this gate to make it swing nice and easy. It was real stiff before, but I just came in here, did a little work on it and adjusted it so it actually starts swinging easy. And now I have to redo the whole thing. So whenever something like this happens, part of me just wants to come in and get it fixed, get it back to the way it was so it looks like it never happened. And the other part of me wants to burn it all and never do it ever again. So today I'm going to try and fight off all the negativity and just come in here and try and get this stood back up so it looks like it did before. I don't know if it'll ever stand back up to the way it was. I'm going to have to pop the gate off completely. I'll have to take some screws out. Probably might even have to take this top off or take all the screws out and redo them because some of the screws broke off. Reattach this whole section here and then maybe we can get it stood back up and I'll get some posts this time, pound them into each leg and fasten them to the ground so this doesn't happen again. It is so hard trying to have some nice things whenever you're not smart enough to build them strong enough for the weather and then you just watch them get destroyed. So the goat hut did pretty well and so did the chicken tractor. The barn didn't have any problems and all the animals survived just as well. But what did fall over is the duck house that I had secured to the ground. I only used 4-inch screws to secure it and the screws literally just snapped in half with the wind. So when we tip the duck house back over, I'll probably be adding some lag screws and maybe some more pipe to help secure that in place so it doesn't happen again. I was just planning on moving my ducks out there, but I saw this day that was coming with all the wind and the cold last night, so I didn't want to move them yet. So we might be moving them this week. Check that out on the Homestead channel. So today, instead of making some progress around the property, we're going to be doing some rework. So I got the greenhouse opened up, but I am leaving these straps that I have going around the mid-level and the bottom. And that's just gonna help keep the panels in if we get a little bit of wind and they start wobbling. Hey, plants. Coming? Good boy. Shut the fan off so you can hear me. But it looks like nothing really got tossed around or moved in here. Definitely got protected from the tarp. but nothing's looking too healthy and green, especially my broccoli and my cauliflower. Looking like it's struggling a bit. I'm not sure if that's struggling because of the heat or because I planted it in straight compost. I think I made a mistake this year when I was starting most of my seeds. I used a lot of my sifted mushroom compost. I sifted that down to something really fine and used that in the trays. I think it actually compacted a little bit too much and not allowing the roots to grow through freely. If I added some vermiculite, perlite, or maybe even some peat moss, that might have helped fluff up my mix or my straight sifted compost. So I had some rough germination percentages with my first couple rounds of starts. So since then I bought some seed start from the store, got some organic burpee mix, some organic espoma mix, and that's been working a lot better. So we're getting a lot better germination off of the seed starting mix, and everything in the compost is pretty much struggling. We did have the Shasta Daisy and the Black-Eyed Susan were able to pop up through, but the cabbage and the coneflower did not do too well. So I think the right thing to do would be to pot up all my seedlings into the compost mix instead of starting the seeds originally in the compost mix. So start them in seed starting soil and then pot them up into the compost that actually has a lot of nutrients and the roots can start drawing from it. I think my main problem was that the compost isn't wicking the water up from the bottom of the tray once I bottom water, and the seed starting mix does a lot better job at that. So whenever I was bottom watering, the water wouldn't make it all the way to the top of the soil to moisten the seed and keep it wet. I ran out of clear top, so I've been using these dark bottoms, but I gotta check to make sure nothing's popping up, because once they pop up, they want to get some light. Oh, puppy, you want to work in the greenhouse today, buddy? Looks like I got some seed starting to do and some thinning to do on some of the tomatoes as well, and marigolds. Right now I'm just going to come in and moisten all the tops of the soil here, make sure everything's good for the day as it starts warming up, and then later on I'll come in and thin out some of these seedlings that are coming up and start some more seeds in a tray that one I don't even think I started anything in. So we'll get some more seeds started in here later. I do want to get that vegetable garden entryway fixed. It just pains me greatly to see that entryway knocked over, so I really want to get that upright today. And I also had a sweet potato that was in the kitchen, and it threw up this big long sprout here. So what I did was throw that into some soil. It's actually just straight compost. It would have been nice to have some seed starter for this as well, but this is in straight compost. I'm going to try and keep it watered. Halfway in, the roots should start coming out of the bottom of the sweet potato, and I should start getting some more slips popping up here eventually. Everything's good in here. The last thing I need to do is go ahead and moisten up my seed starting mix that I'm going to be using later. Just going to put some water in it, mix it all around, and then let it sit so it can soak up and saturate everything. Get it nice and even, kind of like a chocolate cake mixture. That's what we're going for. You really have to mix up the seed starting mix because it has a lot of peat moss in it and you'll get a lot of dry clumps. So you want to get in there with your hands, break up all the clumps, and mix it all around. Especially get down to the bottom where the water flows and pull all that up. But I'll let this sit, and everything should be soaked in about 10 minutes. And they'll be ready to sow some seeds. Okay, Pop. And I want to turn that fan back on. Always want to keep some air moving in the greenhouse. Get those little seedlings something to wiggle with and get some strength. You can definitely see how they started stretching yesterday, because all these seedlings popped up the day before and then I put them in straight darkness with that tarp. So it wasn't the best, but at least they're alive. So I overheard my mom talking to my dad, and she's all upset because we don't have a decent backyard to come out to. So you let me know down below. Think the yard's decent? So I got the main square at the top back together, glued and screwed, and I used 4-inch instead of 3-inch, so I was able to grab more wood this time. So it's feeling pretty sturdy, but just like when I built it the first time and stood it up, there's a lot of wiggle down here. So I'm gonna put some crossboards down here just for the initial lift, and then I think it'll be solid enough to pick up, and then I'll put the A-frame on last. I think I'm ready to lift it up. Time to get some help. Don't break my gate. Don't break my gate, bud. Don't walk on it. Silly puppy. You silly puppy. Got the frame back upright. Now I'm going to go through and fix all the twigs that got all jumbled up and try and add them back in where they broke off. The fence actually turned out decent. I need to tuck everything back in. Some of them broke there too, so I'm just going to go through and try and fix all these twigs back to about where they were, and then I'll get this A-frame back on and the gate. There it is, back upright, back to where I was before the windstorm came through. I did add some support to that top A-frame, another branch up there just to add across, and then I added some branches down below also to add some support to the base. But before we finish up, I'm going to go up, find some pipe that I'm going to be cutting to about 4-foot lengths and 3 or 4 foot lengths and pounding in to next to each post. So if we do get a squall of wind again, this will still be standing by the end of it. This isn't the video I planned on making today, but I hope you enjoy it anyway, because this is what's going on here at Whitt Acres. I'm going to clean up, get everything put away, and then try and find that pipe to set. Got to get the chickens some scratch, check on the goats, give the ducks some fresh water. Come on, Bowls. And we got to check on the goats while we're up here. Hey, goats, you want some food? Yeah, come on, Flop. Let Flip get some. You cute goats. Oh, puppy, you like the goats, huh? Yeah. And we'll also top off the inside water tank so that we are all filled up on the inside here. Behind the goat hut here, we have some miscellaneous piping that my dad's been saving over the decades. So I'm gonna come in here and try and measure off a 12-foot piece that I'll be able to cut into 4 equal sections for the garden entry. Spring, like it's bouncing off of something. That's weird. That's real weird. I got 3 of the pipe pounded in on the legs, but this 4th leg, the front right leg where the gate shuts on, it's not working. I'm hitting a stone on one side and I'm hitting something really springy on the other. So I'm not sure why it's not going in. I'm gonna try poking a few more places and see if I can get this last leg in. Yeah. Something, it's hitting something. Can't get it in. Alright, so I'm going to drill out the pipe and attach the other 3 legs just so it has something holding it to the ground, and then I'll mess with that 4th leg. Nice. Poppy. Go. 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 Well, we are back up and running with the garden entryway. So I was able to get pipe in on 3 of the legs and not that front right leg. I keep hitting a tree root or something that's springing my pipe up. So I put 2 screws in the front leg just to give it extra support. And then I fastened the back on as well. So we should have a lot more support than we did before. I also added a cross brace on that back you see, holding the A-frame up. So I put a nice long sturdy branch in there just to give that A-frame a little bit more support as well. So I think we should be pretty good here. So I do plan on coming back to this project and replacing all those number 8 screws with lags, just like I planned on doing that with the duck house and never got around to it, and then the duck house flipped over anyway. So hopefully I can get that done and replace those screws with something a little bit stronger before we get another windstorm. But I am so happy to get this back upright and in position. I did not like looking at it lying on the ground. It's a big sigh of relief that what did get knocked over from the storm is something that was able to be put back up, like the duck house and the entryway here. I was lucky enough not to have the greenhouse blow away or any of the trees lose any big branches or fall over uprooted. So I am thankful for that. I did get one bed topped off with some compost, so next video I might be coming in here and planting out this bed. If you love nature, make sure you subscribe and follow along. Go in the description, check out all my other channels if you want to see the animals and the aquatics as well as the gardens here. Hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching. Actually, I'm probably gonna head into the greenhouse and sow some seeds before the sun goes down. I have to close up the barn. It's sowing season. Oh no, my giraffe fell over too. Come here, giraffe. You smashed up some daffodils too, buddy. Get you planted out this year.